Now, subhanAllah, the Quran is not just a book of stories of the past. It's not just a book on rules and regulations. It is not just a book on laws. It is all of that, but it also is a book that can give us glimpses into the future, what's going to happen on the Day of Judgment and beyond. And one of those glimpses can be found in Surah Al-Mudaththir, with a conversation that happens between the people of Jannah, may Allah make us of them, and the people of the hellfire, may Allah protect us from the hellfire, where the verse says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَكُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا كَسَبَتْ رَهِينَةٌ إِلَّا أَصْحَابُ الْيَمِينِ. And every soul will be held hostage by the sins that it has committed, except for the people of the right, Ashabul Yamin. May Allah make us of them. These are the people of Jannah. These are the Muslimin, the Mu'mineen, the true believers who believe in God on the Day of Judgment. And they are going to ask a question to the people of the hellfire. And this is in the following verse where they say, وَمَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ. And what has led you to Saqar? And here this translates to hell. What has brought you to hellfire? What did you guys do that ended up with you being in this position right now? And their response, out of all the imaginable sins that you could think of, out of every evil act that you could think that one would commit, the first thing that they say, the first and foremost, which gives you and me an idea that we need to internalize of the magnitude and the severity of this one action, their response is, لَمْ نَكُ مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ. This is the first thing they say. We were not of the people who prayed. We did not establish prayer. We did not pray regularly. We did not pray at all. Subhanallah. And you see, a lot of us today, we underestimate the magnitude and the severity of prayer, where some would argue, well, if you don't pray, are you actually considered a kafir or not? Why would you allow yourself to fall into that gray realm where you're not sure if you're kafir or Muslim? Why would you allow yourself to be in that position? Allah has ordered for us to pray 5 times a day. That doesn't take much time out of your day. And that is our salvation to Jannah. May Allah make us Ashab al-Jannah. And their first response in hell is that we did not pray. And then the second criteria that led them to there, وَلَمْ نَكُ نُطْعِمُ الْمِسْكِينَ. And we did not help those in need. We did not feed the poor, the hungry, the ones who actually asked out for our help, the ones who reached out, the ones who we had the ability to help. We refused, perhaps out of arrogance, perhaps out of fear. Whatever the case is, we did not help them when we had the ability to do so. And the third criteria that led them to the hellfire, وَكُنَّا نَخُوضُ مَعَ الْخَائِضِينَ. And we used to hang out and mingle with those who used to hang out and mingle and talk about wrong things, falsehood, make fun of the religion, waste our time with things that do not benefit us in any way possible. We used to ridicule those who would worship God. We used to ridicule the idea of the religion. We used to ridicule and take light certain things within the religion, subhanallah. And then the fourth and final criteria, وَكُنَّا نُكَذِّبُ بِيَوْمِ الدِّينِ. And we did not believe in the day of judgment, the day of resurrection, the day that we will be held accountable. Now, this is what's very interesting, right? It's not necessarily that they did not believe that this day existed. That's true to some criteria of people. Yes, they don't believe in an afterlife, and that's one aspect. But on the other side, because what you're talking about with the day of judgment is the idea that you will be held accountable for the actions that you do or the actions that you don't do, subhanallah. And to belittle that and say, you know what, God is all forgiving, Allah Ghafur Rahim, this is true, but also Allah is Shadidul Iqab. There is a balance in everything. There's a balance in the good and the bad. There's a balance in the things that we must do and should do. And there's a balance in the things that we mustn't do and we shouldn't do. But to disregard that entirely and just say it's okay, it's all fine, I'm just going to continue upon this sin because it's all good. And by doing so, to some extent, we are negating or disbelieving in a day in which we will be held accountable for those sins, no matter how small. Subhanallah, may Allah protect us. May Allah forgive us of all of our sins and our mistakes. But we need to understand this criteria, because this is very clearly put in the Quran as a conversation, and it's truly fascinating, and it's there for you and I to take heed of, to take understanding, so that we know what we should and shouldn't do, because we have a goal, and we would like to end up in Jannah, and we do not want to end up in hellfire. And so Allah has given us a clear-cut little description over here in the surah that says the people of hellfire, the 4 main criteria that applied to them was this. And if we could not do that, if we stay away from those 4 criteria, then inshallah, by God's will, grace and mercy, we will not fall into that position. And instead, we will be on the other side asking, ما سلككم في سقر. Subhanallah. اللهم اجعلنا من أصحاب اليمين واللهم رزقنا الجنة بلا حساب ولا سابقة عقاب. Oh Allah, make us of the people of the right, and oh Allah, grant us Jannah, Jannatul Firdaus, without any accountability, and grant us a straight first class ticket all the way to the top. Barakallah fikum. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.